Today we're going to talk about the comprehension strategy called visualization. Visualization or visualizing helps us to understand what we are reading. This strategy encourages us to make a picture in our head as we read. I'm going to tell you that it's helpful when you're reading stories or you're reading extracts from a textbook or from a newspaper or on the internet that you want to create a movie in your mind as you read. This will help you to understand what you are reading even better. The more clearer and in detail your picture is that's in your mind, the better you will understand. Also, if there is ever a part of a story, an extract, a nonfiction reading that you don't understand, you want to really go back to visualization and questioning to help you to understand it. You want to ask questions to yourself about what you're reading to develop a better picture. I will help you with this today. Some of the things that you want to think about when you are using the strategy of visualization are picturing guide words. These are words or prompts that will help you to picture what you are reading even better. Some guide words that you want to think about are who, which are probably the characters or the main idea, what, when, where, how. Okay, these are some things, and these are the elements of a story as well. In addition, to help you get even more in specific or in detailed in the picture or movie you're making in your mind as you read, you want to think about the number of things or people that you can picture, the size of something that you are reading. What you see in the background is very important. What movement do you imagine happening as you read? What are some colors that you see? What about sound? Okay, what do you hear? Okay, what about feelings? What emotions do you see or what emotions are expressed? And perspective. How are you looking at this? Are you on top of a building looking down? Are you on the floor looking up? Are you looking at it straight on? These are guide words or prompts that will help you to picture things even better. So, when you are using the strategy of visualization, you really want to use these guide words to help you make an in-depth and clear picture of what you are reading. Does that make sense? Good. If it does not make sense, please make sure to ask me when you see me next. Another thing that I want to remind you of is that when you are using the strategy of visualization, it is very important for you to use the words clearly as a clue. Okay? Because if you misinterpret the words, then you are going to be picturing something differently. Therefore, this will also help you to clarify anything that you don't understand. You want to use strategies like questioning, clarification, and visualization together to make a really in-depth and accurate picture of what you see. Another thing you need to remember is that what you picture might not be exactly the same as what someone else pictures. And this depends on what you understood, and it also depends on the description that the author gives you. The more description an author gives you, the more you're able to picture. So remember that and don't fret if you picture something a little bit differently than your classmates. So now we're going to give this a try. Look at this sentence right here, or sentences right here from One Tiny Turtle by Nicola Davies. This is just an example. The sentences say, the turtle swims around, flapping her long front flippers like wings. She is flying underwater. She pokes her pinprick nostrils through the silver surface to take a quick breath so fast, blink, and you'll miss it. So now, this is what I want to do. Imagine that this is what you were reading, okay? If there is something here that you can picture really well or that you like, you might want to highlight it or underline it. So, I'm going to say, ooh, I love this. The turtle swims around, flapping her long front flippers like wings. She is flying underwater. I love that. So I'm going to say that that is what I picture. I'm going to highlight it. Now, what might I think about it? So I might, in my book, write a note about it. I picture a beautiful turtle with her flippers spread out. Okay, so this might be something that I picture. Okay, I might also have a question. Okay, what is the turtle doing? Is she trying to get something? Are there other turtles around? Anything that I see or that I think of, I'm going to write here. So note, I've engaged in the picturing strategy because I've talked about what I picture, and I've also engaged in some questioning. And if there was something that I didn't understand here, I might also write it. Let's say I didn't know what the word flapping means. I might write, what does the word flapping mean? Okay? And so I would know that I would have to clarify that eventually, okay? So that I can make meaning. So now, imagine I pictured this. Imagine I had to draw a picture. Would my picture look something like this? Take a look at it. It's a turtle underwater flapping the wings, okay? So now I, in my description, might have noted something about the background. Okay, I might have said that there was blue water. I might have said that there were stones on the bottom to make my picture even richer. Now, since those things were not said in the passage, I would be adding that on. And that's okay because I'm making a richer picture. If it was in this passage, I would have to make sure that I described it in my picture. Does that make sense? Good. Let's go on. Let's look at, oh, it's over here, sorry. We're going to go down here, and here's another passage. Okay? A man appeared on the corner. The cat had been watching, appeared so suddenly and silently, you'd have thought he'd just popped out of the ground. The cat's tail twitched and its eyes narrowed. Nothing like this man had ever been seen in Privet Drive. He was tall, thin, and very old, judging by the silver of his hair and beard, which were both long enough to tuck into his belt. He was wearing long robes, a purple cloak which swept the ground, and high-heeled buckle boots. His blue eyes were light, bright and sparkling behind half-moon spectacles, and his nose was very long and crooked, as though it had been broken at least twice. This man's name was Albus Dumbledore. Now, this passage or extract is from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. But I specifically picked this passage because J.K. Rowling uses lots of descriptive language that allows us to visualize. Let's pick a sentence, okay? There's lots of sentences, so I'm going to pick this one right here. So I'm going to take the highlighter, I'm going to imagine that this is what I highlighted right here. He was tall, thin, very old, judging by the silver of his hair and beard, which are both long enough to tuck into his belt. Okay? So in my head, I've made a picture of this. Okay? And what I would do is I would probably describe it right here. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is I just want you to think out loud. You don't need to write anything. What you would picture here. Okay? For this sentence. I would picture a man, okay, with very little hair, okay, that shines and is combed nicely, okay. I picture him to be tiny and frail, okay. I might also write something about his hair, okay? His hair is long like spaghetti, just like his beard, and it goes down to his waist. Okay? I might have a question also. Is this guy, okay, I might write so I might put another text box right here. And I might, is he a nice guy or a bad guy? Okay? And I might also make a prediction. I might say, I predict he is someone really important. Okay? So as we would read more of the story, we would see what would happen. This is just a little snapshot of what you will be doing in class tomorrow. We will be working on the visualization strategy on the book Keeping Corner, okay? We will be practicing using these guide words to picture what we're reading even better. You will be reading the next chapter in class, which is chapter 3, using visualization to make you understand what the story even better. I'll see you in class tomorrow with your questions. Goodbye.